Hey folks, it's Ardwulf. Welcome. We have another RPG unboxing, sort of, today. This time we have the John Carter of Mars Narrator's Toolkit. Now, as far as I know, other than the specialty dice, let me give you some more information about that shortly. This is the only other product out for this line right now, but there's a couple other things in the pipeline that were part of the Kickstarter. So I said in the previous unboxing video, as I take this out of the bag, that this game does not require any specialized dice, and that is technically accurate. However, I have since found out, reading through the original booklet, that the specialty dice that are available with the game actually are specialty dice. The D6s are slightly different. So this is that 2D20 system, but it's a little bit different. Now this bag this is not shrink wrap. This is in a bag that's sort of resealable. I'm actually going to keep the bag because I want to keep all this stuff together on the shelf. So what we have here is a sheet. So slight correction anyway on the previous statement regarding not requiring special dice. Turns out that is true, but they do give you guidelines on how to use regular D6s. It's just not a really intuitive way to do that on a D6, I think. So maybe you want the specialty dice. I don't know. All right, so we got a little info sheet, nothing on the back, with the UPC and so on and so forth. And then we have two other things here. We've got the screen and we've got the booklet. So let's look first at the screen. Now, you may recall from the game's unboxing that the book is in landscape format. It is interesting that the screen is not. The screen is in letter format, and that's weird. Now, you do have a little chart right here on the screen. I hope you can see that. That tells you how to interpret the dice. So I gave you my reasons during that unboxing video why I don't like to get games that have specialty dice. So I won't go over that again. Check that video out if you are interested in hearing that. So we have the screen here, and this is the same art that was on the cover of the game rules itself, except we have it all kind of blended together and sort of a texture has been applied to them, and then on the edges, you have the two maps of Barsoom. It's a very nice screen, and it is on this super-duper thick stuff. So that's nice. So let's see what we have for tables here. Not really what you'd call a table-heavy game. Rollmaster this is not. Although I should do a video on Rollmaster. So if anybody wants to remind me about that in the comments, please do so. So we've got a lot of general information type things here. Things you can spend momentum on. Things you can spend luck points on, different types of actions. I suppose I'm a believer in using Game Master screens. I like to use Game Master screens. Some people don't, and that's fine. I do like to use them. This is the kind of game that I don't really feel like I would need the screen much for reference, however, based on my initial perusal, which I have done since the unboxing video. So we've got some what the attributes do, different types of damage. These are those stress types that we mentioned briefly. Not at all fluent with this game system yet, by the way. So again, if you're interested in seeing that, however, oh, this is neat. If you're interested in seeing that kind of thing, then mention it in the comments. There's a quick list of Barsoomian titles, which is nice. Not 100% sure I would need that, even having not read the books that often in the last 30 years. But the screen is very nice. It's very, very heavy. It may even be heavier than your average quote-unquote hardcover screen. But it is certainly very nice. And it's interesting that these days the landscape format for Game Master screens is actually really popular. This game went with a landscape format book and then the portrait format for the screen, which is an interesting choice. I don't find it to be a problematic choice. It's just interesting that they decided to do that. So we have this Narrator's Toolkit book, okay, and it's 34 pages, counting the covers. What we have here is some interesting things based on what the back of the envelope says. The Martian Standards. Okay. So it looks like there's some general adventure construction advice in here. I would prop some things about pulp adventure themes. I gotta tell you, Here's the random adventure generator, which is a neat idea, and we'll get to that in a second. I would prefer to have seen this in the narrator section of the rulebook, to be honest. This is a little different because this is its own little system here. I can live with that in here. If there is a dedicated Game Master book, then I think this is where that kind of thing goes. Where you can title structure. Okay, so adventure titles, character types, some more about the characters. There's objects to go after, where we begin. So this is actually... I mean, no random adventure generator is probably going to produce results as good as a manually created, artisanally crafted adventure. But this doesn't look too bad. Do I feel this itself is worth the price of the screen? No. The price of this was, I think, $35, by the way. I think it was $35 was suggested retail for this. Here's the thing about narrator characters, which you can also generate randomly, which is interesting. Now this is interesting. This I also would have preferred to have seen in the main book. But again, there's no Game Master book for this, so maybe this is the right place to put that. For adventure hooks, whole bunch of adventure hooks, actually. Well, okay. So a page, most of 2 pages of adventure hooks, which is fine. Archetype hooks for characters, that's cool. For all of the different character archetypes. There's a little section on travel, which is rather nice. Nice to have. Again, a lot of this stuff is stuff I think should have been in the book. Large-scale actions and conflicts. Is this the miniatures rule system? Maybe. I'm going to have to peruse this. So this is for like mass combats and stuff, but I don't see anything about it using the miniatures rules. The miniatures rules seem fairly rudimentary to me, but I don't know that that's a particularly bad thing when they're attached to an RPG. Sample groups, so you have like sample groups for large-scale play. Boy, I'm very interested in this now. So what I think it's calling large-scale play are like play in kingdoms and stuff. And I've always been interested in that. I'd like to do a video on that, by the way. So we'll see what happens with that. And we have some sheets for that. So this is neat. Again, it's on the same kind of glossy paper that the interior page of the rulebook is, but of course it's not got a hard cover. So this is... If we just leave this laying around, it's not going to wear very well. But that's fine. I would call it a magazine type of finish. Does it fit inside this? Probably not, without wrecking it. Not really. It kind of hangs out a little bit on that side. I could probably live with that as long as it goes in the sleeve. So, nice little narrator's toolkit. The screen is really the highlight. I mean, if you want a screen, I kind of bought this because I'm super intrigued by the game. As somebody that has a lot of nostalgia for the literature from this. The game looks really good. It's a very light game. If you want to see the unboxing video, by the way, go check that video out in the channel. I may do some more video on this. We'll see. If you would like to see more video on this system or product or anything else from Modiphius, please mention it in the comments and we will see what we can do. So, interesting product, the John Carter of Mars Narrator's Toolkit. For $35, I feel like it's a little light, to be honest. But I paid it and I'm happy, and so I'm not outraged by a price that seems just a hair maybe too high, maybe $30. I think for the really, really super duper deluxe screen, to whatever degree you need a screen for this game. So check that out. Check out the previous video as well if you want to see more about the game. So thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Please don't forget to like and comment on the videos and subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much.